Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday Night Racing Series here on Intensity Broadcasting as we get ready for some awesome action here from Kentucky Speedway. We got about just over 4.5 minutes left here in practice. No surprise, Jamie Horn, Jonathan Jennings at the top of the leaderboard. Jeremiah Stutzman sits back in third. John Smith, Chris Leftwich are your top five at the top of the leaderboard. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. And again, Jamie Horn up at the top of the leaderboard. Jonathan Jennings with his win last week moves them up three spots up into second. Eric Warman sits back in third. Jeremiah Stutzman and Jonathan Smith, your top five. Daniel Wilkerson sits back in sixth. Mark Dumont back in seventh. Christopher Simon, Jeffrey Engel, and Richard Leclerc, your top 10. And we'll leave the points up on the screen for a few moments so you can find your favorite driver, see where they are currently in the points coming into tonight. So Kentucky posts some great action. We see a couple drivers have some issues there on the front stretch. Your typical D-shaped cookie cutter track, as you can see. But the track has a little bit of character. It has that grip strip that you see right there in turns 1 and 2. See the track temperature out there as well. Currently 84 degrees. Air temperature 80 degrees. So it's going to be a nice, cool night for these drivers here tonight. Not going to be too slick. We should see some great racing in these Gen 4 Cup cars. As we're watching John Smith make his way around the racetrack. So Justin McMahon currently sits back in the 9th position. Had some speed last week in New Hampshire. Unfortunately, late race caution and a spin out ended his night. It cost him a podium spot, but we'll see what he's able to do here tonight at Kentucky. With just about 2.5 minutes left here in qualifying. While we got a moment, I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick, or on Twitch. We appreciate you tuning in. Don't even forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, the Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Racing Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Of course, the Doghouse Racing League is also a partner with Fanatics. Anything purchased from the link below does help fund the league, so check that out. If you're looking for a gift at Fanatics, check them out. Use the link down below. Also, Doghouse Racing League has their own website, which is doghouseracingle.com. For schedules, points, standings, merch, news, and more, check out doghouseracingle.com. Of course, there's a link down below in the description as well. And of course, both Intensity Broadcasting here, as well as the Doghouse Racing League, is brought to you by Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. And we've got about a minute left here in practice. We're watching Stephen Bonomo and that Tampa Bay Lightning's machine make his way around the racetrack. Currently 10th quickest on the speed chart. 22 cars getting ready to start their qualifying attempt in just a few moments. And you see Bonomo right down on that apron. You can run the apron here. It's not out of bounds like some tracks. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some drivers down there try to make some passes. A lot of room down to the bottom. So we'll see how that works out here tonight. So Steve Gerber, currently the 7th quickest driver in practice. As we are about to finish up practice and get ready to get qualifying underway. But just like always, 2 laps of qualifying here in the Doghouse Racing League. I'm sure we'll see some pretty fast laps posted by some familiar faces up at the top. Let's see who the first driver is to roll off a pit lane and get out onto the racetrack. And it looks like it's going to be... Got a few drivers sitting there on pit road. Looks like Kevin Brown will be one of the first drivers off of pit road. New look for Kevin Brown here. The kind of a Halloween style paint job right there. That's pretty cool. It's got the fangs down there, the eyeballs, kind of mishmash paint job. Getting ready to celebrate Halloween on Thursday. It's like a missing fender panel as well. That is pretty cool looking paint job right there. Michael Dow also just came across the stripe to start his first of 2 laps. Mark Dumont also out on the racetrack, so quite a few drivers getting ready to get a lap here, as we see Jason Ross and the 00 also out on the racetrack. Kevin Brown's going to be the first driver across the stripe to set a time. Currently up at the top as Jess McMahon knocks him off with a 30.52. Now Jennings runs up to the top with a 30.29. There's Leftwich right up there as well. A little different look for Leftwich. An old Valvoline looking paint job. That's a pretty sweet paint job as well on that 13 here. And you know I'm a sucker for good looking paint jobs, and that's another one right there. As Jamie Horn has gone to the top of the leaderboard as Leftwich comes down across the stripe. And right now he's good enough for third as we see Jennings go to the top of the leaderboard. And that Mountain Dew lime wire machine, that's another great looking paint job right there. So Jeffrey Engel coming down into turn number 3. Currently 10th quickest. He was able to do here on his second lap. He's able to improve on that. Ooh, gets really loose off of turn number 4. Stays in it though. Fought it all the way down the front stretch. Stays in that 10th position. So we see Steve Gerber out on the racetrack. John Smith also out on the racetrack right now. Lucas Edwards coming down across the stripe. And Edwards is going to jump up into the 10th position. Here's Christopher Simon. About 1 minute and 45 seconds left in qualifying. Simon off of turn number 4. Coming down to the stripe. His first lap's going to be good enough for 9th. John Smith coming down the backstretch into turn number 3. As he rockets off of turn number 4 down towards the stripe. The second lap is going to move him up into the 4th position. Simon now down across the stripe. Betters his spot by 1. Here's Eric Warman across the stripe on his second lap. He's going to move up into the 12th position. See, Jeremiah Stutzman, first lap put him up to 4th. Really, hard contact for Stutzman, outside and inside wall. Trying to get everything he could, and man, that car just clobbered the outside wall. Fortunately, his first lap was good enough for 4th. But man, what a lick he took there off of turn number 4. Leclerc off of turn number 4, down the backstretch into turn number 3. And across the stripe. And that is going to do it for time here. As qualifying has finished, and let's take a look at our starting grid. On pole tonight in the 91 machine will be Jonathan Jennings with Jamie Horn, his teammate, to his outside in position number 2. Chris Leftwich roll off third with Jeremiah Stutzman in the 87 from the 4th spot. Then John Smith in 5th with Kevin Brown to his outside in the 6th position. Steve Gerber rolls off from 7th and Justin McMahon in the 8th position. Ninth will be Stephen Bonomo with Christopher Simon rolling off from the 10th spot. Then Jason Ross and Mark Dumont make up row number 6. Row 7 will be Eric Warman in the 31 and Mike Leftwich in the 60 machine, excuse me. Lucas Edwards back in 15th, and Jeffrey Engel rolling off from 16th. 17th is Gary Armillo with Cameron King rolling off in the 18th position. Michael Dow, Richard Leclerc, and Andrew St. Cyr rounding out the field here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. As the field gets ready to continue gridding here, and we're just waiting for the last couple stragglers to make their way on the pit road. Again, quite a few throwbacks here tonight. I love that LimeWire car, that Kevin Harvick look that Jamie Horn's got. Jeremiah Stutzman running the old Mark Martin Viagra machine. Then there's Justin McMahon. See if there's any other. There's a 60. Mike Leftwich running the old Red Bull colors. Those are, as a Casey Kane fan, lots of memories in that car. And yeah, it looks like all the bit of throwbacks, if you will, as the field makes their way out onto the racetrack. We get ready to grid them. They'll go green this time by. Of course, I want to thank everybody again for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick, or over on Twitch, we do appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit the little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Also, don't forget to check the links out below for the Doghouse Racing League's website. All of our great partners and sponsors that make this possible, both on the Doghouse side as well as on our side as well. We do appreciate all the support. Field enters turn number 3. Pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Jennings is going to lead them down to the green flag. Green is in the air. We are racing here from Kentucky Speedway. Great side-by-side battle here as the leader really wasn't able to get away. Now, Jennings going to tuck down in front of Jamie Horn as they come off of turn number 2. A little further back, he's got some great side-by-side racing as Steve Bonomo looking down to the inside of Justin McMahon. Just in front, we see Kevin Brown and Steve Gerber going at it as Brown trying to run that Frankenstein machine up to the high side of John Smith. He's got that 33 already hooking up on the high side. And while the tires are cold, might as well get what you can. As Brown's going to get a couple spots here on the start and move himself up into the 5th position. A little further back, we see the 00 of Jason Ross moving forward as well underneath the 27 of Christopher Simon. As they come off of turn number 2, or sorry, turn number 4, down to the stripe. Simon at that high side going to have the advantage. He's going to be able to get back in front of the 00 as they go down into turn number 1. Meanwhile, up front, Jamie Horn has a mirror full of Chris Leftwich, who's coming on strong here as they come down the backstretch. Steven Bonomo now take a look down to the inside of Justin McMahon as they come down into turn number 3. Already lots of great battles here all over the racetrack. Even further back, we see Lucas Edwards and the 92 Cameron King going at it. This is a battle for the 15th position. So all over the racetrack, we're seeing huge battles already. The field really not spreading out all that much as the racing continues to pick up. Meanwhile, Steve Gerber's going to look down underneath Jeremiah Stutzman. And Gerber's going to take over that 6th position as he comes across the stripe to start lap number 5. Now big Justin McMahon looking to the back bumper of Jeremiah Stutzman as Christopher Simon's going to take a look down to the inside of Justin McMahon. They're going to go 3 wides. Bonomo was in the middle there. And some contact between Bonomo. Bonomo's going to go around here. Caution is out. Not sure if anybody else was caught up in that one. That's going to bring up a wreckage rewind as we take a look to see exactly So 3 wide racing. Looks like the 00 came up a little bit. The 9 came down a little bit. And then the 114 of Mark Dumont got into the back of Bonomo. A little bit of contact there in the left front for the 9 machine. Catches the outside wall just a little bit. They will continue on. Doesn't look like too much damage to either that car or the 114. There's a bunch of cars already making their way down pit road. We see Jonathan Jennings, Kevin Brown, Eric Warman on pit road. Mike Leftwich comes down pit road. Obviously, Steven Bonomo and Richard Leclerc coming down pit road to get some damage fixed. Michael Dow coming down pit road as well. That's going to give the lead of the race to Jamie Horn. In the chat, we say good luck, son. Make a great race, Christopher Simon. So, Christopher Simon's got the fan club cheering him on from the chat here tonight. Apologies happening in the racetrack chat. That looked like it was just a racing deal. 2 drivers trying to occupy the same space. One came down a little, one came up a little. But some great racing here to start the first 5 laps of this race. Everybody in the back just looked like they came down for fuel only. 5 and 6 second stops for everybody except for Richard Leclerc, Steven Bonomo, who came down and got that damage fixed up. Actually, it was Mark Dumont, not Leclerc, that got into the back of the 9 machine. And it looks like he's got a little bit of damage to that right front. A little bit of damage there to the 92 as well of Cameron King. So a little bit of front end damage for both those cars. Don't know how much it's going to affect him here. We're going to re-rack him, restack him, and get ready to refire him here. Pace car will be in this time by. Get ready to go back. Green flag racing. for the scheduled 80 laps of this event. Come down this time, the pace car will be taking that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Jamie Horn will be your control car up on the high side as he approaches the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And we are back racing. The field makes their way back down towards turn number 1. Jamie Horn with a great jump over Chris Leftwich. Steve Gerber and John Smith doing a little battle out here. This is for the 3rd and 4th position, but Smith going to take that spot away. A little further back, though, we see some jostling for position. As the two damaged cars of Mark Dumont and Cameron King were just side by side a moment ago. Cameron King, though, up on the high side. Even with that little bit of front end damage, doesn't look like it's hurting him too much. As Lucas Edwards is going to take a look down to the inside of King. Ooh, big wiggle for, looks like Yeremio up on that high side. Able to hold on to it as Mark Dumont and King continue to run side by side. Now King losing a little bit of time up on that high side. And right behind him we see Jonathan Jennings working underneath Jeffrey Engel. Jennings stuck back in this traffic, and while going in and taking fuel might be a bit of a strategy call. It may not be the right one because you're stuck back here in the Hornet's Nest. That's not where Jonathan Jennings wants to be right now. Meanwhile, a little battle up here as John Smith and Steve Gerber continue to trade blows here, up for the 3rd position, and Christopher Simon right behind as well. Jeremiah Stutzman up on the high side. Ooh, Cameron King almost runs into the back of Stutzman as they come off of turn number 2, and they were just 2 and 3 wide coming off of turn number 2, and Jonathan Jennings now starting to work his way through the field. Ooh, big wiggle for Lucas Edwards. A couple drivers having to make some evasive maneuvers, such as Cameron King. They were just 3 wide a moment ago again. We've seen you can run 3 wide here. It is just a little bit on the sketchy side. Here comes Jonathan Jennings looking down underneath the 114 of Dumont. So Jennings has worked his way out of the Hornet's Nest now. He's back up into the 8th position. His way through the field. Meanwhile, battle between Steven Gerber and Christopher Simon starting to heat up as Simon's up on that high side. Lucas coming into the picture as well with the 24 of Justin McMahon. McMahon had such a great run going last week at New Hampshire, running a line that nobody else was able to run. Unfortunately got caught up in a couple incidents that ended his night. See Gerber running way up on that high side, trying to get as much momentum up there to keep himself in front of Christopher Simon as he could. And he will indeed stay out in front of Simon. While this has been going on, Jamie Horn just pulling away from 2nd place Chris Leftwich. That lead is now 1.6 seconds. Battle back here continues to heat up, and Just McMahon continues to inch closer into the picture. So there will be no racing next week for Election Day. Make sure to tune in the following week. As we will be going to Michigan, not the newly paved Michigan, but the old bumpy lack of grip Michigan. So that's going to be a great race with these cars, and that's what we're seeing this league doing this season with these old Gen 4 cars. Whenever there's a legacy track that they're able to visit, that's what they're going to choose. Gerber gets a little sideways there right in front of Christopher Simon. Simon's going to get right back to that back bumper. Try to take that position away. A little further back, you got more battling going on. Steven Bonomo, Jeffrey Ingles, Eric Warman, all battling back here. Jeremiah Stutzman stuck back here still. He's in 17th position. Ooh, Engel just caught the outside. Whoa! Heavy contact there for Jeffrey Engel. Catches Richard Leclerc. That's going to bring out another wreckage rewind. And that looked like Jeffrey Engel kind of got stuck on the wall. So, oh, he had a little bit of help here. So we'll take a look here. Has to lift to keep from running over. Steven Bonomo gets run over by Eric Warman. You see that back of that car get jacked up in the air. Then he gets stuck up against the outside wall here, and everybody's trying to take evasive action. And he's trying to pull that thing off the wall, because with these older cars, when they get stuck in the wall, it's almost like glue. And the car, he didn't even turn the wheel. The car just broke right. And unfortunately, the 117 just wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, I never even saw it coming. Had no idea it was happening. Not much that Jeffrey Engel could do. As you see, we'll see from here when he gets jacked up off of the corner. And the car's kind of stuck against the wall. And the car just kind of comes off the wall. And that 117 was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. So unfortunately, a lot of damage to the 117. There's a bunch of drivers coming off pit road. The entire field came down in pit. Looks like they're going to come off pit road the way they entered. So Jamie Horn comes off first. Chris Leftwich in second. John Smith. Oh, I didn't even realize that I had the wreckage rewind picture up that whole time. I apologize for that. We'll go back and kind of show what happened there. So I was given really in-depth-ish coverage of the incident there. And nobody could see it. Let's try this again. So as they come off of turn number 2, you'll see Steven Bonomo kind of check up just a little bit. Jeffrey Engel has to check up to keep from running into the back of the 9. Eric Warman doesn't see that happen. Gets hit from behind. That car kind of gets stuck up onto the outside wall. And then, unfortunately for the 117, Jeffrey Engel didn't do anything. He didn't even turn the wheel. That car just snapped all by itself. And not too much that Leclerc could do as we wired along here with Leclerc. And you can see exactly what he's just riding along, trying to go on by. Next thing you know, he is involved in it. But looks like they were both able to get back out onto the racetrack with their damage fixed. As much of their damage fixed as they could. Jamie Horn will be your control car up on the high side yet again. The high lane seems to have the advantage coming off of turn number 2. As the field makes their way into turn number 4, pace car getting ready to take that hard right-hand turn onto pit road. Making their way down towards the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. We are back racing. Another great jump for Jamie Horn. Chris Leftwich trying to keep pace, but unfortunately not able to do so. Jonathan Jennings back up into the 5th position, trying to find his way through John Smith and Steven Gerber. He's going to try to work that high side here off of turn number 4. He's going to take that spot away and set his sights on the 8 of Gerber. Meanwhile, we've got a mess back here. We see the gaggle of cars back here. Kevin Brown in this one, Jeremiah Stutzman, 00 of Jason Ross, Justin McMahon caught up in this little kerfuffle back here. As Mike Leftwich going to take a look down to the inside of John Smith. And Smith can block the door, close the door there as he has a 3-wide racing behind. As Jeremiah Stutzman's all the way down on the apron trying to make some moves happen. And was able to do so as John Smith has gotten around, Jonathan Jennings has gotten around Steve Gerber and up into the 3rd position. Made easy work of the 8 machine and sets his sight on Chris Leftwich. Leftwich now has a mirror full of Jonathan Jennings as they come down. Jennings has that low lane on lockdown right now. Comes off of turn number 4, but Leftwich gonna fight back on that high side. So they're gonna go side by side, door to door into turn number 1. This is what Jamie Horn wants to see in his mirror as these two battling side by side. As Leftwich gets up into the outside wall, so does Steve Gerber. And that allows Jonathan Jennings to get right on by. And Jennings is going to set his sights on Jamie Horn. Meanwhile, we see Kevin Brown in the Frankenstein machine looking down to the inside of Jason Ross. This is a battle for the 8th position. Brown's going to have the advantage here on the low side. He's going to take that spot right away. Lucas Edwards right behind as well. A little bit further back, we see Christopher Simon working down underneath the 92 of Cameron King. Justin McMahon way back here in the 11th position. I'm not sure what happened to him. Looks like he had a bit of a longer pit stop. That put him a little further behind. He's trying to work his way back up through the field. Meanwhile, Mike Leftwich is in a side-by-side battle with Jeremiah Stutzman. This is a battle for the 6th position. Leftwich has it. Jeremiah wants it. Jeremiah dives it down into turn at number 1, able to get around the 60 machine. He's going to set his sights on the 23 of John Smith. While Simon continues to do battle back here with Mark Dumont for the 14th and 15th position. out front. Jamie Horn continues to lead, but see who's stalking him right there. That's the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, slowly making his way up towards. As you see that delta, that starting to shrink a little closer and a little closer. Last 3 laps, Jonathan Jennings has been just a little bit quicker. See that time by Jonathan Jennings, the first half of the track was 0.1 seconds faster, as Jennings was really sideways off the corner there, and Horn was just a little bit quicker through turns 3 and 4. And Jennings letting it all hang out here, especially off of turn number 4. Saw that car completely sideways as he came off of turn number 4 last time. This time looking to be a little bit more in control. And while we've got a little break in the action, why don't we do a little pump up the intensity for you. Some great battles in the middle of the pack back here now. We saw Kevin Brown moving up into the 8th position. Lucas Edwards taking a look down to the inside of the 00. Jason Ross not quite close enough to make that happen as McMahon now takes a look down underneath the 33 of Kevin Brown. Not quite close enough to make anything happen. Meanwhile, this has been going on. Jonathan Jennings getting closer and closer to Jamie Horn. He's cut that down to 0.3 seconds now, so about 2.5 car lengths between him and Horn. All while this gaggle of cars continues to do battle here in the middle of the pack. And Steve Gerber has a mirror full of the 23 of John Smith. Big wiggle for Stutzman right there in front of Gerber, as Smith's going to take a look down to the inside of the 8 machine. Gerber able to hold off for now as Kevin Brown loses a position to Jason Ross. Now Lucas Edwards set his sights on the 33 machine. Foreman side by side with the 92, Cameron King. And Gerber and Smith going back at it off of turn number 2. Turn at number 3, Smith not quite able to get down underneath Gerber that time. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is heating up as we are just past halfway. 38 laps to go. Jennings right there on the back bumper of Jamie Horn as they come off of turn number 2. Smith down, back down to the inside of Steve Gerber. Down into turn number 3. It looks like Smith is going to be able to complete the pass this time. Move himself up into the 5th position. A little further back, we see Christopher Simon and Lucas Edwards continuing to do battle back here. This is for the 12th and 13th position. Jess McMahon has caught Mike Leftwich for the 7th position. McMahon's going to look up to the high side. Right behind we see Jason Ross. I don't know if Ross is going to try to follow the 24 machine, but he's going to stay tucked in behind Mike Leftwich. Come down into turn number 1. McMahon going to be able to power off the corner and take over that 7th position. Leftwich is going to lose another position here to Jason Ross as they go down into turn number 3. And as you can see, all 20 cars still running as Cameron King makes his way down onto pit road. And that might retire the 92 for the night. Not really sure what happened to King here. Oh, King got way up into the outside wall. Looks like he got a little bit of damage there on that right side. And that's why he pulled it down into the pits. As Jamie Horn continues to pull away from Jonathan Jennings now, as Jennings falling off just a little bit as John Smith now makes his way around Jeremiah Stutzman and up into the 4th position. So John Smith coming on hard here in these last few laps. Trying to get himself a run here towards the podium. And Jeremiah Stutzman now down on pit road. So green flag pit stops are underway. Michael Dow also down on pit road. As Justin McMahon and Steve Gerber continue to battle at it as Gerber will lose a couple more positions as here comes Jason Ross and Eric Warman right behind as well. Norman using that high lane here with the progressive banking to get around the double zero. When we come by the line next time, we will have just 30 laps to go. Man's been on a bit of a tear the last few laps. As Jason Ross going to pull down on the pit road. The only drivers currently who have been faster than McMahon are your two leaders, Jamie Horn and Jonathan Jennings. Last time by, Horn ran a 32.18, Jennings ran a 32.24, and McMahon ran a 32.37. As, ooh, McMahon gets loose and really sideways, trying to get down on the pit road, but he does indeed make it down to speed. Jonathan Jennings also down on pit road. Steve Gerber, Christopher Simon, Lucas Edwards. Is that going to force Jamie Horn to come in? Yeah, you see him slow down on that inside. And Horn comes down on the pit road. It's going to give the lead of the race to John Smith. Chris Leftwich also on pit road. Kevin Brown, Mark Dumont, Jeffrey Engel. Whoops. Jeffrey Engel down on pit road. Eric Warman coming down on pit road this time. There's only a handful of drivers left the pit. John Smith, Mike Leftwich, Richard Leclerc, all still to pit. It looks like John Smith slowing down here off of turn at number 4. He's going to make his way down on the pit road. He's going to give the lead of the race to the 60 of Mike Leftwich, as Richard Leclerc also comes down on the pit road. So Mike Leftwich, the only car left the pit, as we are coming to 25 laps to go. Of course, you see the leaders behind. On fresher tires, running much faster speeds, as Leftwich misses the corner completely, tries to get down on the pit road here. Risky maneuver, but gets down on the pit road. And that's going to give the lead of the race back to Jonathan Jennings when he comes around. And he's got Jeremiah Stutzman and Jamie Horn battling it out for the second position, as Horn's going to look up to the high side as they come off the turn at number 2. Just 25 laps to go. Jonathan Jennings back out in front here. See from the ticker there, the 92 of Cameron King has officially parked it for the night. Jeffrey Engel down on pit road still, getting more damage fixed. Mike Leftwich just coming off of pit road. He's going to blend back in, and he's probably going to come back out onto the racetrack in about the 15th position. Jennings continues to stretch his legs now over Jamie Horn. He sits back in second and over a second behind. Christopher Simons worked his way back up into the 6th position, trying to run down Justin McMahon for the 5th spot. As we ride along here with McMahon. coming up on the 7 of Garamillo, who is getting scored 1 lap down. Meanwhile, Eric Warman and Jason Ross go into battle here as Ross moves himself up into the 7th position. Eric Warman thought about making a little bit of a crossover here, was not able to make that happen. Now Warman tries to get the run up on the high side. Ross is going to use the 7 of Armillo as a pick. We're going to have 3 wide here. Armillo was up on the high side. Warman was the meat in the sandwich. They make it work, though, as they come down across the stripe. This battle continues to rage on. A little further up, we see Justin McMahon and Christopher Simon. And Steve Gerber, who fell way back in the pack during the green flag pit stops. Doing a battle with Lucas Edwards. This is a battle for the 11th position. Meanwhile, back up towards the front, Chris Leftwich under attack from Jeremiah Stutzman for the final podium position. Ooh, Stutzman got really loose there, hanging on to it. Got a moment right there in front of Jeffrey Engel. Stutzman's going to have to regather, regroup, and try it all over again. Back up front, Jonathan Jennings over Jamie Horn by 0.4 of a second. But Horn has been consistently faster than Jonathan Jennings over the last 5 laps. Jennings just got really loose there off of turn at number 2. You saw that car slide a bit sideways. We have just 15 laps to go. Now the field's starting to be a little bit more calm and stretched out. I think drivers are trying to save their stuff here. Try to make a run here at the end. Warman into the back of Christopher Simon. That's going to allow John Smith to look down underneath Warman now. That front bumper of Warman seen some action tonight, not intentionally. He's been there a couple times as the battle for the lead is heating up. Jamie Horn has made his way to the back bumper of Jonathan Jennings as they come down off of turn at number 2. And Horn is there. Right along here now with Jamie Horn off the front bumper of the 98 machine. See, running a little bit lower line than Jennings is, trying to get as much air to that nose as he can, trying to keep the downforce on the front of that machine. Trying to keep it from getting too aero tight behind the 91. As they come off of turn number 4. Jamie Horn has caught the 91. It's one thing to catch the driver. It's another thing to pass him. And right now, Jamie Horn trying to do everything he can to force an error out of Jonathan Jennings to try to take over that top spot and get the win here tonight at Kentucky. When we cross the line next time, we'll have just 10 laps to go. These two drivers very evenly matched. They come down into turn number 1. A couple little battles in the back as well. John Smith, Eric Warman, Christopher Simon all doing battle back here. I'm sorry, Justin McMahon, John Smith, and Eric Warman all doing battle back here. As Smith trying to get around the 24, Warman trying to get around both of them. Warman's going to look up to the high side here as they come down off of turn number 2. Or sorry, turn number 4. It's going to dive all the way down to the bottom. Meanwhile, this battle for the top spot continues. Clean air out in front, no lap traffic to contend with. Just mano y mano as they come down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Jamie Horn looks like he's fallen off a little bit from Jonathan Jennings. Like he might have pushed a little too hard for a few laps and burnt those tires off. Meanwhile, McMahon and Smith continue to duke it out as Smith trying to take that 5th spot. And he will indeed take that 5th spot away. As they've got the lap car of Jeffrey Engel right in front. Jeremiah Stutzman, the 4th place driver, having some struggles here in this late part of the race. Big moves and big blocks down the backstretch. Drivers trying to use that 89 as a pick as they come down into turn number 3. We have just 5 laps to go. And in those 5 laps, Jamie Horn has lost about 2/10 off Jonathan Jennings. Jeremiah Stutzman loses a few positions here. He falls from 5th to 7th as John Smith, Justin McMahon, and Eric Warman all went right around the 87. McMahon has a mirror full of Eric Warman as they come down into turn number 1. There's a battle for the 8th and 9th position between Christopher Simon and Jason Ross. Ross is going to take that spot away. Meanwhile, Eric Warman looking up to the high side of Jonathan Jennings this time. As we have just 3 laps to go. Sorry, that's Justin McMahon, not Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan Jennings, though, pulling away from Jamie Horn as they come across the stripe. We have just 2 laps to go here from Kentucky Speedway. Does Jamie Horn have anything left for the 91 of Jonathan Jennings in these final 3 miles? Horn was really sideways coming through turns 1 and 2, trying to do everything he can to catch up to that 91 as they come down into turn number 3. Just 1.5 miles for Jonathan Jennings to go back-to-back here in the Doghouse Racing League. Down into turn number 1. Down the backstretch, Jamie Horn now losing more time as Jonathan Jennings now in cruise control off of turn number 4. Coming down to the stripe, and Jonathan Jennings is going to win here at Kentucky. Jamie Horn's going to finish in 2nd. Chris Leftwich going to bring it home in 3rd. Sideways. John Smith comes home 4th, and Eric Warman round out your top 5. But man, what a run for Jonathan Jennings. I thought he was going to be in trouble when he took that early pit stop, got caught back in the hornet's nest. But he was able to make his way back to the front and get the win here tonight. As Jonathan Jennings is going to burn him down here on the front stretch. Jennings going to do his traditional, trying to burn it all the way down the front stretch. See how far he can go before either the tires pop or the motor pops. That was an impressive burnout for sure. Mike Leftwich comes and gives him a little congratulations there on the back bumper. Let's take a look at our results. Again, Jonathan Jennings getting the win. Jamie Horn comes home 2nd. Chris Leftwich back in 3rd. John Smith and Eric Warman round out your top 5. Justin McMahon brings it home 6th. Jeremiah Stutzman back in 7th. Christopher Simon, Jason Ross, and Kevin Brown make up your top 10. Mike Leftwich brings it home 11th. Steve Gerber back in 12th. Lucas Edwards in the 13th position. Mark Dumont and Gary Amio round out your top 15. 16th will be Richard Leclerc. Stephen Bonomo back in 17th. Michael Dow in 18th. Jeffrey Engel and Cameron King round out the field here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. As we get ready to talk to our top 3. But before we do that, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. We want to thank our great partners here, including Shoney's. Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Racing Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations, try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Doghouse Racing League is also an affiliate of Fanatics. They earn commissions when you purchase through the link below. And they use those commissions to help fund the league. So check it out down at the link below. Also, Doghouse Racing League and Intensity Broadcasting are both brought to you by the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products. If it is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. As we get ready to bring our top 3 into the booth, starting with your third place finisher, Chris Leftwich. Chris, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got you, bub.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Kind of fell back a little bit in the mid part of the race. Drove yourself back up to the top 3. Looked like the track was real slick out there tonight. And saving tires, mostly those rear tires, seem to be the challenge here tonight. Talk us through your race and what strategy you had to get yourself back up onto the podium here tonight.
Oh, I was just if I knew if I could stay somewhere near in the vicinity of those the top 2, I'd be all right. But no, I had I got on pit road. I felt really slow, and then I got a little damage. But other than that, the car was it drove actually pretty good. It was as the tires were, I had to move around the track a little bit, and I went up, I started running the high side, and I started diving into turns and stuff, and I realized that was working pretty good. I was getting pretty good runs off the turns, and I think I fell back to I think I was 4th or 5th, I'm not sure, and got back up to 3rd. I'm just happy with top 3. I'm still trying to get used to these cars.
Yeah, these cars seem like an absolute handful. And speaking of handfuls, after this race, not next week, obviously, because we have the break for Election Day, but the following week, we move to the Old Michigan racetrack. These cars, not a lot of grip, a lot of horsepower. That track, notoriously slick. What's your plans for Michigan? How do you think you're going to fare there?
My plan is to put an egg under the throttle and hope for the best, because I know that in the next gen cars, them cars can be even slick at the new Michigan. So I couldn't imagine these things. These things are wild. They got a lot of horsepower, but I think the high line will prevail in the end at Michigan. Hopefully, if not, I'll do what I can. I'll move around and try to find that grip. That's all what it's about. It's all about throttle control and your steering input at the same time. But other than that, no, I think it'll be a pretty good race. We got a bunch of talented guys out here. I think we'll do fine.
Yeah, and these cars seem awfully racy out there, so it's great to see the great racing all over the racetrack. Well, again, Chris, congratulations on the podium here tonight. Good luck in 2 weeks at Michigan. And, of course, before I let you go, anyone want to thank any shout you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Shoney for sponsoring the league and Daniel for putting it on. It costs a lot of money to run these things, and I know, and just want to thank my fiance for letting me do this stuff for one, and also thank my teammates and all the admins too. They helped out a lot too, so I've been practicing with them some here and there. So I really appreciate everybody's help and everything, and all the hard work everybody puts into it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight. Good luck at Michigan in 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, buddy.
Have a great night.
You too, bud.
That was your third place finisher, Chris Leftwich. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Jamie Horn. Jamie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy? Oh, Jamie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
There you are. Man, great run here tonight coming home in P2. I know you had the dominant car for the first 3/4 of the race, but Jonathan was able to get back by you, and you just could not. You got back to his back bumper, but you just couldn't get back by him. It looked like you might have burned yourself trying to get to him. Talk about what you might have been able to do a little bit differently there at the end, and if you had anything for Jonathan, if it went just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'd kind of pushed a little bit too hard for about 5 laps sooner than I wanted to, and track just got real tight, and he was kind of searching around, and I started searching around for a line, and probably should have just stayed where I was at, and 'cause I could run a little bit higher in 3 and 4 and get a better runoff than what it looked like he was able to do. But once I got behind him, it was playing catch up and overdrive.
Yeah, these cars seem to be really sliding around out there. I saw a couple cars completely sideways, especially off of turn at number 4. Another track you get completely sideways is in 2 weeks we move on to Michigan. I was talking to Chris Leftwich about it, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. These cars have a lot of horsepower, not a lot of grip. Michigan, old Michigan, is notoriously known for not having a lot of grip. How do you like your chances there? What do you think the strategy is going to be in 2 weeks at Michigan?
Michigan's one of my favorite tracks, and I'm starting to get the hang of these cars a little bit better. So I'm hoping that I can run up front whenever we get there, and biggest thing gonna be trying to save the tires and not. It's real easy to get on the gas too much and start spinning tires and wearing them out. So trying to manage that, just try to be up there in the front and trying to keep the points lead. I know Jonathan's cutting that down quickly each week, so trying to do everything I can to maximize on points each week.
Yeah, he goes back-to-back wins. You got the first win of the season, but again, the off week, get some practice in, and good luck at Michigan in 2 weeks. And of course, Jamie, before we let you go, anyone you got to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
I want to say thanks to you and everything y'all do every week broadcasting. Daniel for putting on the league. Congrats to Jonathan on the win. Made him earn that one a little bit more than normal. My mom for watching, and look forward to coming back in a couple of weeks and see what we can do then.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the runner-up. Good luck in Michigan. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
You as well. So that was your second place finisher, Jamie Horn. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh over the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, what a win here tonight. Didn't have the dominating car for the first 3/4 of the race, but it seemed as the lights got brighter and the sun went down, the car just came to life for you. During that first caution, though, went down pit road, got some fuel, kind of put you back in the hornet's nest, and those guys were racing kind of wild back there. Did you kind of see your race flash before your eyes a couple times? Because it looks like there were some pretty wild moments in front of you at the beginning of the race.
Nah, I just knew I had to take my time and get through it as quickly and safely as possible. But yeah, with the laps and what we were getting in practice, I knew it was possibly going to be a fuel mileage race. So I went in and gave me a little cushion. So yeah, that was the whole plan, hitting that on lap 6 or 7, whatever lap it was.
Yeah, and it seemed to work out for you because, I know the other caution came out, kind of threw that strategy away, but man, it was a great run and a great strategy. Try to get yourself up there. Jamie Horn made you earn it though here tonight, and the track looked awfully slick. I saw you pretty sideways off of turn 4 a couple times here tonight. Talk about the race. Talk about how slick the track was and what you were able to do to keep the car underneath you, because it seemed like you were able to do that a little bit better than anybody else was able to manage their tires.
It was extremely tight from entry to just past the middle. And then when the tires, you light up the rear tires, you're going to lose rear grip. So that's where the looseness thing came from. But yeah, it was really tight.
Yeah, I hate that kind of tight snap loose. You get the wheel turned too much and the thing just wants to come around. But man, next week, no, not next week, I'm sorry, 2 weeks from now, we move on to Michigan, another track that's going to be awfully slick. And again, these cars have a lot of horsepower, not a lot of grip. It's a lot of fun to watch you guys slide around out there. How do you like your chances at Michigan, and what's going to be the strategy there?
I have no idea. I don't know enough about these cars, so to get the best finish possible and try to keep trying to make up points on Jamie. That's Daytona. The struggle when he keeps finishing second.
Well, going back-to-back wins, that's one way to do it for sure, getting yourself your second win of the season. So congratulations on that. And of course, Jonathan, one last time before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast. Jamie for the great race in there. I wouldn't have beat him if I hadn't have pit that lap before him. And Daniel and all those admins that put this stuff together. And the series sponsor, I guess Shoney's, Route 6, Fanatic, and Hunter Design Shop, or whatever he calls it now.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the win. Good luck in 2 weeks at Michigan, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
So how's your winner, Jonathan Jennings? Again, getting the win here tonight. And not in dominating fashion, but a great race here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, join us in 2 weeks. Of course, don't forget to use your American right to vote next week. We'll be off for Election Day, but we'll be right back here at Michigan in 2 weeks here on Intensity Broadcast. Of course, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick, or on Twitch, we do appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, don't forget to check out the great partners below, including the Doghouse Racing League's website, The Butt Kicker, Shoney's, and yeah, that's going to do it for us here tonight. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over